Hey, everybody! Midnight's Edge After Dark. What's going on? It's Wednesday night. It's the 3rd of July. Woohoo! Yeah, give it up. Freedom. Okay. Midnight's Edge After Dark is for a live studio audience. With me is, I'm your, of course, your narrator speaker, Mr. Rob Robosh. With me is Mr. Tom Connors.
As far as you know.
As far as I know. It could be Magnum PI, or in my case, it's Magnum PU. So, with us joining us is, yeah, order. There he is. Where's your black friend that flies a helicopter?
He's busy.
Okay.
He's trying to get casted in the new Little Mermaid.
Lots of luck with that. The Woke Patrol's met its quota. With us always, Mr. Tyler. With us is Mr. Tyler Bioshock.
Heyo.
And joining us is a resident, your favorite YouTube harpy, standing up for redhead rights everywhere. Your ninja warrior, Viking, geek goddess herself, award-winning chef.
I miss incandescent.
Incandescent.
Ebullient.
Ebullient. Vivacious. Easy on the eyes. Miss Mecha Random.
Hello.
She's not happy.
Not happy today.
No, none of us are.
Except for the Bill and Ted stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump right in because we've got a lot to say about this. All right. So Disney has cast The Little Mermaid. Is anybody really surprised by this?
No.
Honestly,
No.
No. We have early reaction from Twitter. Okay.
NPCs of both sides are crawling out of the woodwork to be race baited on this one. And what they don't realize is Disney orchestrated this just because they saw they saw what it did for The Last Jedi, for Star Trek Discovery, for all these things that you can report back to boardrooms for with your little parrot analytics by everything's trending. They do this to make this trend. They don't care about us. They want your money, they want your nostalgia, and they want you to either be pissed off or to be excited for representation or whatever. They want us at each other's throats because it creates their buzz. It creates their trending. It's still trending on Twitter. It is the #1 thing trending on Twitter right now.
Well, you know the old saying that there's no such thing as bad PR, as bad press.
Exactly.
Actually, we have someone just joining us, and we have very special guest, our resident Disney file. The lovely and talented Miss Mary Mayhem.
Hey now.
Hi, guys.
Yay.
The term is Disnerd. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Disney file sounds dirty.
Lots of people are all up in arms over this, and I just don't really understand why. Like, I guess I would have preferred to have seen a redhead, of course, but you can slap a wig on her, and I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
She'll look like Starfire from Teen Titans.
Well, what about the wasn't it Danish? Like, I'm less familiar with it. You guys can probably clue me in on this. Wasn't it supposed to be? It's Hans Christian Andersen's story. It takes place in Norway, right? Like Denmark, Norway.
I'm like
It is a
It's vague. It's really vague.
It is kind of a Danish mythology, though. And if you want to really argue the cultural appropriation aspect of it, you could. I mean, I look at it this way. I don't normally care when they race swap, as long as they're not calling attention to it and using it.
This time they are.
Yeah, and using it as a, as we bring up normally how they like to parade people out there for their diversity or their sexuality. That's what this is to me. That's all.
Oh yeah,
Mary,
baiting. No doubt about it. This is baiting, but at the same time, like, I just don't think it's a good idea for us to like go to their level, right? I don't see a problem because you could take this to like the Caribbean, right? You could totally make this like a Caribbean. So they did that with Sebastian, right? Like, where the heck was Sebastian in all of this in terms of his accent and how he fit into everything?
Well, funnily enough, in the original script, he was just a normal dude, and it was Howard Ashman that said, "Let's make him Jamaican." So that was thrown
you could
out the window.
Stuff like that, and it didn't need to make sense, and it didn't need to be a big deal. Now, I think if they make it like, if they make it go for like a Caribbean tone or whatever, I think that that's fine. I think that that's even like, I could totally see that.
Well, look at Jason Momoa as Aquaman. You know that he looks very much like an islander. I don't think the problem is the casting. I think for a lot of us, it's, you know, okay, you have an iconic character that looks a certain way. You know, I mean, a lot of people in my comment section were saying, why not Ariana Grande? Why not somebody who is kind of known for the red hair or something? Because she's kind of known for that. She's very petite. She kind of looks like Ariel anyway. She can sing, and if they went with this girl just for her vocal range and for her voice, why not somebody like Ariana Grande?
And Ariana Grande can act too. She's
she's a Disney actress.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and there's that aspect too, and then you also
have singing.
And she's also ethnically ambiguous enough. Like, I don't know what race she is, and I don't really care. Right?
I think it's important at this moment to not let them bait us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really think it's important to just keep our heads on our shoulders. If all we're really worried about is her being a redhead, then slap a wig on her and call yourself happy. Because look, we didn't get all up in arms when the ancient one was white. So why would we get all up in arms over this? You know?
Actually, a few people did. Not only that, but I get where both sides are coming from. That's the thing. Without anybody, and I'm not even calling the other side racist in the least, because like Mecca brought up, you have an iconic character who looks a specific way for the Disney version. Sure, there's 100 other versions of The Little Mermaid that look totally different than Disney's Ariel. But Ariel looks the way she does in Disney's version, and that's the version most people know. Every version that they have done of these remakes, they have tried to find somebody who fits the physical version that Disney has. Even look at Aladdin, for instance. Sure, Will Smith is black, but they still made him blue. Why? Because that's the color that the genie was in the original cartoon. So if you really, really want to get into it here, I can understand both sides of it. I'm one of those, like I've said, I don't normally care if you change a race, you know, and even Rob will argue with me on this one a little bit, but I'm one of those, I'm like, you can make Batman black, you can make him Asian. I don't care. As long as he's got the costume, as long as he's got the car, as long as he's got the cool gadgets and Alfred, we're good to go.
You know what I'm saying? Story is what is being driven.
Right. But once you start bringing in like stereotypes to make a big deal out of the fact that he's whatever said race, that's when I start having an issue, and that's when things start to get off the rails here. And you know, and again, if here's another situation we have, since she is black, now majority of the cast is going to wind up being recast as black as well. So to me, I can see the argument for a cultural appropriation situation here when it comes to the fact that this is a Danish mythology in a way. And if it was a black, you know, if it was an African mythology or something like that, I think black people would have a huge problem if you made it a bunch of white people.
But I think
so. There is a little bit of an argument there without being able to point at people and go, "You're racist." But you're right, Mecca. That's all this is a big bait by Disney. Sorry, Mary, go on.
Well, I just think it's important to be consistent within ourselves, right? Like, because I have personally, and I agree with you there, I have never had a problem with quote unquote cultural appropriation. Now, maybe that has something to do with the fact that I'm from America. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that I am from a melting pot where cultural appropriation literally makes up my identity, right? So I think cultural appropriation is sort of a silly term. I don't think it does any real.
No, but it is tossed around a lot, especially in situations where white people are involved. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think it's important here to not give them the high ground, right? We need to watch ourselves, watch our words, and consider that they're going to twist everything that we say here. And at the end of the day, if this just boils down to the color of a person's skin, why do we care? We don't really care. Recognize that we're being baited, which I agree with you 100% there, Mecca. Recognize we're being baited. Do you actually care? And ask yourself, do you really care what the color of Ariel's skin is? Because I don't. And so if it doesn't matter, and I don't think it matters, then just don't give them what they want.
Right. And I'll go
Okay,
one further too. I'll go one
Mary,
further.
when's your
on
political? Sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't even care that they're remaking this because I'm not going to watch it anyway. I think these are just petty, cheap cash grabs that are aimed at adults to pander to our nostalgia. And then they're trying to have us bring our kids in because they can't make anything for kids nowadays. They don't know the crap they're doing. They don't realize that kids are playing Roblox, they're playing Fortnite, they're on their tablets, they're on YouTube watching YouTube videos. And they aren't watching Disney movies in the theater like we used to when I was a kid. I mean, I think I even saw Little Mermaid in the theater, if I'm not wrong, or I saw it on video shortly after. But I don't think Disney knows what the crap they're doing. And they're pulling a McDonald's. They're pulling a Camel cigarettes. They're trying to market this, to our nostalgia. And they're trying to get us to bring our kids in young.
Well, and here's the other thing. What are they going to do when someone's kid asks why Ariel doesn't look like she does in the old cartoon? Are you going to point your finger at them and call them racist, even though they're 6?
I'm
a racist. You're a racist. He's a racist. She's a racist. Would you like to be a racist too? Be a racist. Drink, Dr. Racist.
So, yeah.
Well, not to make fun of it, but it's true. It's like, what are you going to do when the kid says that? I mean...
I get the upset that people feel over this, right? Of course I get the upset that people feel over this. You want her recast as Ariel. You want her to look like the Ariel that you're familiar with, right? But at the end of the day, this is an aesthetic. And so
I get it. But then why not Belle? Why not,
You're right, and it's baiting, and I agree.
Why not?
What would happen? Okay, what would happen?
Well, I gotta mention that in most depictions of Little Mermaid post the film, I think Ursula is usually played by a black actress, so it's not quite out of nowhere.
Well, here's the thing. What if they just out of nowhere decided to remake the next Beauty and the Beast and they changed Belle's dress color? Right?
I kind of hoped they would. I never liked
that outfit sucked. What? Really, Mary?
Do what?
You didn't like that dress?
Or if we change it to a fairy godfather.
Let me tell you something. There was one Halloween where I saw a group of people. They were all just like the iconic Disney characters, and that I don't know. I didn't see Beauty and the Beast, but that dress was the Belle dress. The girl who was wearing that was actually one of the most detailed oriented things I've ever seen. They got every single detail right. Whoever the costumer was, it was, I'm saying this with a perfectly unblemished record of heterosexuality. That dress was exquisite.
It was fabulous.
Oh yeah, it's why it's funny because the dress sucks so much in design, which is ironic.
I actually preferred the dress in the end, the one with the white one with the pink roses on it. I preferred that. I thought about cosplaying it, but
right. And I will just say on the other side, yeah, Disney is a place where there has not been a lot of representation if you're not white. I get that. Mm-hmm. There is no denying that. And we do have a quick super chat here from Jen Eric, a Canadian $10. Hey, thank you so much. Red hair, blue eyes is ethnic description of Atlanteans. Got into a Twitter war with a tone policing ignorant, arrogant fool who didn't understand the symbolism of being subverted public education. Well, you have that aspect too. As far as Aquaman goes, what about the gay representation that was missed out there?
Was it Ryan Twitter war with?
Sorry, that was a bad joke. Captain.
I do have to scoot, guys. I'm so sorry. I got to go get on my own.
Yeah, she's got her own show here. So,
yeah. So thanks for hopping on with us.
Oh yeah, thanks for giving us your 2020 political campaign. I'll vote for you.
Thanks, guys. Love. Have a good stream.
Right. Take care, Mary.
Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe to Mary's channel, of course. Captain Hare gave us another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I was waiting for that. Race bending established characters has never made much sense to me. Exception Nick Fury. Can we advocate Samuel Jackson bending instead? Again, there's another situation where it didn't matter that you changed somebody's race because you weren't parading Samuel Jackson out there and going, look, we made Nick Fury black now. No, it was just because Samuel Jackson kicks ass. You found the right guy to play the part. That's all most of us care about, as long as it's the right guy to play the part.
Also, right minor roles too, because was it in Ant-Man 2? The Ghost was a male character originally, but no one gave a shit.
No, I didn't have no problems with that. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the original character either. I mean, there's that other issue, and I think the iconicness that Random brought up is probably one of the biggest things here. And when you're doing this, especially with Disney, whatever that was, Rob.
Samuel Jackson.
Oh yeah, and I think Mecca's really hitting a point when it comes to the iconicness. It's like, okay, why this when you didn't fudge with, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin obviously had race appropriate characters in it or actors in it. So I mean, it just why here? I guess I don't know. Other than what we've been saying,
my big thing is in this. Listen, okay, you know what? They want the buzz. They want this kind of buzz, right? I don't think Disney realizes how easy it is for me to ignore these movies. I didn't go seen any of these.
You haven't, Rob, but everybody else in the world pretty much has.
Yeah, you want me to run off the actual overall box office total of these movies? I think it's like 4.8 billion.
And we know that Disney fudges and buys their own tickets. Look at Captain Marvel.
Well, even that aside, these remakes, they bring in the audiences because of the curiosity factor more than
nostalgia. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to come a point where they're going to hit diminishing returns.
Well, and we talked about this before. This all started because they had diminishing returns on their re-releases. That's why they become very selective on what's technically kept in the vault anymore. And there's no mistake that these were the movies that they redid first. Or pretty much first. I mean, there was a few of them they tried before this, but they've been in this consistent order now where they're basically doing the order of their 90s movies backwards, kind of.
Well, but they're not gonna do Oliver and Me. They're not gonna do.
No, they'll skip all over that crap, and we've already got.
Well, they already said they're gonna do the Black Cauldron. That's one of their famous failures. So at a point,
that one is one that needs it. That's one of the only ones, if anything, you want to look at it and say that was mishandled and has a lot of fucking potential, especially nowadays with Sword and Sorcery and how big Lord of the Rings was. And they lost those deleted scenes, didn't they? So they can't even re-release it in the PG-13 version.
All that stuff was cut and destroyed. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
So yeah, they can't even unless they redid the animation altogether for those scenes. So you might as well just redo it as a live action. That one, I can see it. Makes sense. But no, they're going to skip after Little Mermaid. They're going to jump back to the 70s.
Well, they've been kind of going all over the place.
The first one was Robin Hood's been brought up.
What was the first one? The first one was Alice in Wonderland, which was the 50s, and then it was Maleficent, which is 1959, Sleeping Beauty. They've been going all over the place, frankly.
Snow White will be where they end up last. Chris Persia, Canadian $5, eh?
Hey, what's that about? Hey,
Ching, where's the ching?
Because it's Canadian, You got to say it.
Hey, the only mistake, is expecting anything better from New Hollywood, eh?
Your Canadian accent sucks, eh? You don't do it right.
No way.
No, you don't do it. Right. You don't have the Youper in there. You got to get the Youper in there, Rob.
I got to get the Youper in there.
You get the Youper in there, and then you sound right. The Youper. You know that accent.
I just want to go and watch the Leafs. Okay, that's what I want to.
No, that's not what this is about.
SCTV is our sponsor now.
Sorry, I apologize to our Canadian friends, especially Chris Persia. Unless you liked, take off, eh?
Take off, eh? Take off, eh? Don't be besmirching my Canadian heritage, eh?
Strange Brew watch party.
You're still sucking at the accent there, buddy.
Oh, he's still sucking at the accent. Oh no! Oh
now
no!
I know how. It's all about the way you say, "Hey, hey." See, I know, eh? Because I had a teacher, eh? Who said at least you could tell he was very, very Canadian, eh?
I have relatives in Toronto, eh? It was just like, ooh. I'd go up there, go to Scarborough, and you will see in the streets very, very clean, eh? And you just go and we drink Elsinore beer, and to get 24, there's a mouse in the bottle, and just like he almost puked. Okay, oh, eh?
You know how you do that, eh? You get a baby mouse, right? Eh? And then you put it in the bottle when it's little, eh? And then you feed it, and you let it grow a little bit, eh? And then you take it in, and then you say, "Hey, I bought this beer, and it had a bottle. It had a mouse in the bottle in the bottom." See,
now I just want to watch Strange Brew.
Now we want to watch Strange Brew. Okay, we're done. Sorry, Spock's evil clone. We're done. Okay, let's move on to the next story.
Wait. You mentioned that. Last thing I'll say about the story is that I don't care what the race of Ariel is in this thing, frankly. Honestly, I'm almost slightly amused because the voice actress for Ariel is kind of a terrible person, so she probably hates this. But she's an R&B singer, so don't expect her to hit Broadway notes.
Oh, boy. I just I don't care.
Okay, let's talk about something fun. We got some Bill and Ted picks. I want to talk about
Yay.
this.
We'll get Bill and Ted.
Oh, did we talk already about we were right? What we were right about, or
No, that's where we can bring this up here because we have not had a chance to yet.
I was right. You were wrong. I was right. Not you, but like the audience. The audience.
Yeah. As you may remember,
Tom and I were right.
Mecca and I talked a little bit about this here. Let me see if I can grab that pick first.
You should be like, we were right. We were right. We were right.
About Cuddy's character.
Mhm.
We thought he was going to play Jimi Hendrix, and it looks to be the case. So let me see if I can find that picture.
I'm happy about that.
Heart in my brain.
Let me see if I can find that real quick. Otherwise, then I do have some pics of Bill and Ted themselves as well.
To me, while
Is that fair? Isn't Mecca usually right anyway? I am always right. That's the thing.
I've never owned a Stratocaster. You know that?
I had a couple of
I
Squires.
got a Strat.
I don't know. I've never been a big Stratocaster. Like my LTD is as close as one as
I
I
don't
get.
remember if it was a Stratocaster or a Telecaster, but I do.
That is a really nice, cute top
had
that you
the
wear.
heart of chrome and the heart and the voice of a voice. Okay, where'd this picture go? I had it on my thing here. Ah, Lord.
I don't know. You tweeted.
Or did we already do the?
I don't think we did talk about that because it was during
that came out
Ladies'
Tuesday.
Night.
Yeah,
that came out Tuesday. And we did Ladies' Night.
Yeah. Just like Les Pauls and stuff. I always like the dual humbuckers because it's a thicker sound.
Oh, that's because I shared that one on Facebook. That's why. Okay. Do you have the pick, Andy? Mecca?
Which one?
The Jimi Hendrix one. We'll get back to that one. We'll do the Bill and Ted ones first. Here.
I don't know where that is. I have my video of it from a while ago, but
okay, yeah. But anyway,
I don't have, like, the actual.
It's out there. It's out there. But here's the.
There was a little bit of STD news, but we can actually.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So Kid Cudi is playing Cudi or Cuddy?
Cuddy.
He's playing Jimi Hendrix.
He is.
Well, that guy.
But this is what Bill and Ted will look like.
Oh, cool. Bill and Ted.
Mm.
I gotta make another note, dang it.
God darn it, hit the wrong button. Where'd it go? Dang nab where did it go?
Are you having a senior moment?
I am. I hate Twitters. I
I'm
hate
trying
the
to Google them. I don't know where you're at.
Here we go. I got it back. Here's the phone booth.
Oh, yeah.
Phone booth.
Are they gonna have to use it like a
there they are. There it is.
I'm excited.
Ted does not look happy.
But Dad,
he does not look happy. So yeah.
He's in a pink shirt. Oh no. Is he gonna be like one of those like IKEA going guys out there, you know?
I have a feeling Ted must get all like cleaned up or something because
get all like
look at him here. He's got the
IKEA
sports jacket on and then the tight. Yeah. But Bill's pretty much the same. He's almost wearing the same shit. So I have a feeling that's gonna possibly be like they grew apart, perhaps.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Bill hung on to the whole Wild Stallions thing, and Ted didn't.
So much like the two actors, Keanu becomes somebody.
Kinda. Yeah. Well, Alex did his own thing, but behind the scenes, but he's always going to be synonymous with Bill, as to where Keanu has obviously gone way past that. So I think that's maybe a comment on that. That's very possible. I'm giddy. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, where did you find the Hendrix pictures? I have no idea where you were.
Daniel Richmond thankfully he's
is it in timeline still?
Finally,
he's a Twitter influencer and a writer, I guess.
Finally, movie news. We actually are.
Yeah, where was the Hendrix one? Because I don't know where that.
Was. I'm gonna have to find that. I sent that one to you, and I don't remember what I did.
It's way back in the Twitter.
Yeah, it was from Monday. It was either from Monday night or Tuesday. That's why. Let's see if I can find it here.
Try and scroll back in the DMs.
Yeah, it's way back. And I think I just sent you the pic. I don't think I sent you the link to the actual Twitter, but it was on, that one. I think was on Ed Sullivan's. Let me look.
See, and that's the thing. You guys don't realize I bitch at Tom all the time. Do this, do this, do this. Nag, nag, nag.
Why do you think you have a whip?
I hate this.
Yeah, why do you think she's got the riding crops? You don't. Those are for a reason. No, actually,
and slave driving.
It wasn't on Ed's either. Where did I find that one? Huh. I don't even remember now.
I'm only 16 hours back. Oh my god. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
You find
we
it?
also have the other casting news here. You have the
Yes.
other casting one with the counselor.
The counselor.
Open link a new tab. All right, I'll link it over here to you. Here we go.
And you got the picture for Jimi Hendrix, you said?
1 second. Yes.
I wouldn't be able to do this without you.
It is from Just Jared. I don't know who Just Jared is. Let me screen share.
Yeah, and then the other casting is a familiar face as well, but not with the Bill and Ted series. But yeah,
He's totally freaking Hendrix.
yes,
I
he's
knew
totally
it.
Hendrix.
There's undeniably Hendrix.
Isn't that Monterey Pop style Hendrix though?
Yes, that's early.
They probably go to Monterey Pop. That's why.
Oh my
Can I-
god! They go to Monterey Pop?
That'd be
Can I-
awesome.
Can I lump this in on one headline thing here?
Yeah, this is all Bill
Yeah.
and Ted
Yeah.
related.
Bill and
I think I
Ted.
show- Can they shove Fat Mama Cass out of the way as they're trying to go? It's Jimi Hendrix.
That's mean. She was such a sweetie. You want to shove fucking John Phillips out of the way? He's an asshole.
Yeah.
All right, we got some more casting news. Jillian Bell has joined the cast, a familiar face, not to Bill and Ted, but to many of you out there, a comedian who's been in things like, what was it, the first 21 Jump Street, I think it was, or was it the second one? I can't remember now. First one, I think it was. And a few other things. There you go. She has been cast also as a therapist for the families. There you go.
So this is okay. This is all one thing here.
Oh, yeah, that's all Bill and Ted update.
All Bill and Ted news. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And Mecca and I want to be like the authority on Bill and Ted news.
Yes.
We're competing, and I've been bugging Solomon. I'm like, come on, Midnight's Edge, please.
We'll bounce for Bill and Ted news.
He's like, I will. When we get to time, there'll be a right time.
All your latest Bill and Ted news.
So hopefully soon I'll have that in the can, too. I'll get to talk to him about it, and we'll get some insight on what's going on there. So, yeah, other than that, we did have another story from the other night. The show was running long, so we ended up forgetting it. It happens. So, apparently, Neil Gaiman's Sandman is coming to Netflix. Isn't that the case, Rob?
Yes, it is. Neil Gaiman. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Neil Gaiman, actually, he's very talented, very prominent writer. He's written quite other than Sandman, he's written for Doctor Who. He's written for a lot of science fiction stuff. Let me pull this up. Catching me here off guard a little bit, Colin.
Sorry about that. I'm looking for it myself, too. But, yeah, that appears to be the case. Sandman, I think they were talking about a movie for the longest time. And that's been in development hell for how long now? God, years.
Okay,
and Andre's a fan of this, so I'm sure he might have something to say about it at some point.
This would be perfect to play Wheel of News.
Right, yeah, I'm getting it here. Here we go. Sandman.
Yeah, well, I got it from Hollywood Reporter.
Okay, that's what I got. So
okay, now, okay, in the chat. Okay, we can do. Let us know in the chat. Would you like us to add Wheel of News? We load a bunch of sources before the show, and then we spin it, give it a spin, and then we pick the source.
I don't think
I know it's a cheap
thing.
Yes. Well, we've done it anyway. We could just
kind of.
visual, you know.
I think people would rather us just be prepared.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we're kind of closer to Red Letter Media than. Like,
Well, I mean, I always try to prepare, but we're never prepared. It doesn't matter how much I prepare.
yeah, but we're like funny. That's the thing.
Well,
Laugh,
Tom,
damn it, or I'll hit you with the writing rod.
Tom, I did prepare that sound effect though for when we do get that. When we do get that one segment off the ground. I did prepare.
Oh, yeah,
I did prepare that sound.
Giveaway time stuff. I've got some good stuff to give away, and I've got. It is Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'll get to that though. We'll get. All right, but anyway, okay. From Hollywood Reporter, the drama from Warner Brothers TV that landed at the streamer with what sources describe as a massive financial commitment and DC Entertainment's most expensive foray into television ever. Neil Gaiman's, is it Gaiman or Gaiman?
I've always heard it as Gaiman. So
I think it's Gaiman.
Okay, well, Gaiman it is. Neil Gaiman's beloved Vertigo comic Sandman is finally coming to the screen. More than 3 years after New Line's failed attempt to turn the graphic novel into a feature film, Netflix has signed what sources describe as a massive financial deal with Warner Brothers Television to adapt the bestseller into a live-action TV series. Sources familiar with the pack. Note that it is the most expensive TV series that DC Entertainment has ever done. The drama has officially been picked up with an 11-episode order. Alan Heinberg, Wonder Woman, ABC's The Catch, and Grey's Anatomy, is set to write and serve as showrunner on the straight-to-series drama. Gaiman, who created the ongoing monthly comic, will executive produce alongside David Goyer's involved. Anyway, Gaiman and Goyer. Sounds like the world's worst cop series. Gaiman and Goyer. Next week on Gaiman and Goyer. Gaiman and Goyer were both attached to New Line Cinema's most recent attempts to adapt Sandman for the big screen. Gaiman, Goyer, and Heinberg will co-write the premiere. What you were going to say, Tyler?
I was going to say, apparently on Neil Gaiman's website, it literally FAQ, first question, how do you pronounce my name? It's Gaiman.
Oh. Okay.
Yay, we got it right.
The superhero for the 21st century. He's all about inclusivity. It's Gaiman. Oh God. Yeah, I think you think about changing it, Neil. Think about changing it. Well, he must have gotten no end of ribbing as a kid. Oh, anyway, we're thrilled to partner with the brilliant team that is Neil Gaiman, David S. Goyer, and Alan Heinberg to finally bring Neil's iconic comic book series, The Sandman, to life on screen, said Channing Dungey, VP of Originals at Netflix. From its rich characters and storylines to its intricately built-out worlds, we're excited to create an epic original series that dives deep into this multi-layered universe beloved by fans around the world. Netflix. The Netflix take represents the first Sandman TV series after numerous efforts to adapt Gaiman's horror, fantasy, and mythology tale about Morpheus, the Lord of Dreams, and the endless, powerful group of siblings that includes destiny, death, destruction, despair, and delirium, as well as dream. Okay, attempts to turn Sandman into a feature film franchise started in the 1990s with Warner Brothers, the parent company of Vertigo, the former imprint of DC Comics. The project went through multiple incarnations and writers in the 1990s, early 2000s, eventually toiled away in development purgatory. Gaiman, whose work has been adapted for TV with Starz, American Gods, and Amazon's Good Omens, announced, Caffeine Crash. In late 2013, he was teaming with Joseph Gordon-Levitt for a feature film that wound up being set up at Warner Brothers' own New Line Cinema. Gordon-Levitt was set to star and direct before bailing on the film following creative differences with the studio in March 2016. Eric Heiserer, the last screenwriter attached to New Line Sandman, said in November 2016 he was no longer involved. I came to okay, it goes on and on and on here. Okay.
Yeah, this sounds like it's turning into a Midnight's Edge mini documentary.
Yeah. I mean, Hey, does that mean the Hollywood Reporter watches Midnight's Edge?
Well, I just mean the amount of information, but
I don't know everything, but I heard it was a cursed production.
I'm sure some people probably do from there, maybe.
Well, I mean, go check it out. Go check out the Hollywood Reporter. But I know nothing about Sandman. I'm not excited either way.
Cautiously optimistic is my.
Rob, you actually have seen Sandman.
I have. Where?
Yeah, Sandman made a brief cameo on an episode of Rick and Morty once.
He did?
Yeah, he's that weirdo thing chasing him at the beginning of an episode, I think, in season 2. With the...
Okay.
He looked like Tim Burton.
And this is, of course, on the heels of DC closing down Vertigo, as Alpha J 3.0 reminds us. Goyer, why is this fucker still around?
Oh wait, he did The Dark Knight. That's why. That's the only reason why.
Smug fucking face on him too. Let's remind everybody, this is a guy who wrote Demonic Toys. Anyway, Jen Eric. 3. And well, yeah, and that too. Jen Eric, a Canadian $5 super chat. Thank you so very much, sir.
Ka-ching. Let's get to say. All of these drama writers being assigned to work on genre shows. Star Trek, Discovery, Supergirl were just the tip of the iceberg. Damn nepotism.
Well, normally Goyer, if it wasn't Goyer, yeah, he's at least worked within the genre, but he's also fucked it up more. And most of the time he's done anything good is because he's had his hand held by somebody else. And that's apparent as hell. That's the thing. Yeah, Alpha J says Sandman is actually an enthralling story. That's why I'm worried, because you have one of the worst writers attached to this. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big Tyler. There's a big Cthulhu thing chasing him at the end. Where's you mean season one?
Well, it was in an actual episode where they're just going through a portal and like, oh, gotta get away from this thing, and it's the Sandman design.
Oh,
I mean,
any idea what episode?
I mean,
in the chat. Let me see. I'm pretty sure if I put Rick and Morty's Sandman.
Oh, it's Morty's Mind Blowers. That was season 3.
Oh, I see. Here it is.
I am curious how much control Gaiman will have over this. That is an interesting thing that Captain April brought up in a way. He said in this case, Gaiman will be riding hard on Goyer. I don't know. Hopefully he has more power than, Jay Raybald, that's a very big possibility. I think just about every major director in Hollywood, as far as that was in the genre, got offered that movie at one point. I've talked to at least 3 people who... hello, Digital Pollution. How you doing?
So this is the Sandman guy here. Just make sure it's not porn.
Mm-hmm, that's
him. There it is. Okay. Yeah, make sure it's not porn.
That's the Sandman guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I see it.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Let's make sure there's no... Oh, Mary's live. So right down there. All right. So, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're just about done here. You said that we had some Discovery news, Rob?
Yeah. I'll have to maybe go pull it back up. But there is some STD news. I mean, we have not been inoculated against STD just yet.
Of course not.
So I should stop hanging out with my aunt then?
Oh.
Yeah.
This is the Discovery news that was like possibly because it was on some weird gossip site here, but because they have some pictures of like some of the cast somewhere, right?
Evidently actually in Iceland.
Yeah.
Trek today. This is picked up by Trek today.
Oh, so they have actually started filming finally.
Why are they spending so much money to go to Iceland?
Well, probably because actually Iceland's currency is collapsed a few years ago, which is why they wanted to join the EU.
Also, because Game of Thrones no longer films there.
Probably they give a lot of tax breaks too. Here, let me.
Let's go road trip.
Tom, do you ever? I'm gonna send this to Tom. You could display it in screen share it for everybody.
I already got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once again, it appears that some Star Trek Discovery will be filmed in a foreign country. Actress Mary Weissman Tilly shared two images from a trip to Reykjavik, Iceland, which shows Sonequa Martin Green and executive producer Olotunde Asusanima. Ola. Let's just call him Ola.
So, in other words, we're going to an ice planet this year?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Now ask me if I give 2 shits and a fuck.
One of the photos shows how bright it was at 1 a.m. in Reykjavik, which gets almost 21 hours of sunlight at this time of year. Back in February, Tamara Deverell, production designer for Star Trek Discovery, said this: "We looked into going places like Iceland and Scotland for other planets. That might be in the future for Star Trek.
What I tell you.
It will be interesting to watch next season, if there is one."
Oh, so this is just a scouting deal. This isn't even filming.
Scouting location.
So what the fuck is Sonequa Martin Green doing there?
They want her approval because she's Mikey Spock.
Oh, is she becoming an executive producer or some shit?
Her and Tilly, both of them. Why are they there? Are they executive producers?
Yeah, what the fuck? Well, the show does have 21 producers on it.
I know.
Oh.
They just might be just using this as a justification to go to Iceland for a nice little trip for themselves.
Well, I suppose if they are, whoop, Jesus. I suppose if they are parts of the main cast, they might have the stars might have say. That's very plausible.
Oh, we're going to be shooting here. Make sure, whatever, but
yeah, make sure they want to spend 6 months there. That's very, very plausible. I guess. I mean, I guess I can see that, but
if you think about it, if they got to spend an extended amount of time in Iceland,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
they have to, rent houses. They'd have to go scout. Oh yeah, we'd be able to eat here. We'd be able to take care of this, that, and the other thing. It's a lot to do. They probably also have to fill out a lot of paperwork with the.
But the real thing is here again. Ask me if I give two shits and a fuck, Rob.
No, you don't get to.
I don't. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to see it anyway because it's going to be so poorly lit and filmed.
Well, the irony here,
filmed in a closet. You'd say,
why did we spend so much money on going to Iceland? We could have done this with some fucking snowflakes in the studio.
In Moonbez's basement.
The irony here is that Iceland has the midnight sun. They're so far north, so that they're really going to have to battle the 21 hours of sunlight in order to get the set and shot nice and dark.
That's a little.
Damn it! Can't you darken this set anymore? I'm sorry.
Productive.
Come out all freaking day. What do you want us to do?
Oh, we might actually get some light this time. Is that a possibility?
No, they'll fuck that up somehow. They always do it. It's like anytime you're like, oh, they're going to Iceland where it's sunny 21 hours out of the day. No, they'll mess it up. They never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity, like nitpicking nerd always says, right?
But you know what it is though. Even though they're scouting locations, they don't have to build sets. If they're outdoors, they don't have to build sets. They just set up cameras.
They'll film it for like one split second of a scene, though. You know how they are, because then they're gonna be like, and we need all these giant space battles, and then we need to show the bridge, and then we need to show the explosions, and the Klingons followed us for some reason, or
knowing them, they'll spend $200 million on blowing up a hillside.
We have hold on, I gotta come. We have some unused dialogue from season 2 of STD from one of the Klingons. Here's what he had to say. Yes, thank you.
Do you have a hairball? Are you okay, Fluffy?
No.
Sounds like you shoved like a bone down your throat.
God, I have so much shit in my mouth.
Iceland,
or did they use? Sorry,
but why don't you just use what? Go ahead. Yeah.
Did they use the spare audio from Les Moonbez's office?
All right, this is Les Moonbez. How's it going? Hey, how you doing out there? Let me tell you, things changed since I had to stop grabbing broads by the ass. Okay, why? I can't say that anymore. Damn it! Why didn't anybody tell me? I don't know. Howard does a great impression of Les Moonbez now.
Since there's nothing more to say about this. Well, yeah, it's because he hates his ass.
Oh yeah, Howard had to sue Les. Yeah. He is the Les Moonbez puppet now. let me see if I can find the Les Moonbez puppet.
Okay. Well, speaking of Les Moonbez, evidently Disney quietly deleted a outtake from the latest releases of Toy Story 2.
Oh, hold on. Oh, really? They did?
Yeah. Here's the goddamn LA Times.
They deleted an outtake, or they just re-edited the film.
They took out an outtake at the how at the end they have the fake outtakes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, here.
What happened? I mean, any reason?
Yeah, there's a reason, and that's why I said Les Moonbez reminded me of this story.
Hey, Les Moonbez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I understand why Disney did this.
Oh my God! Oh man!
But why? Who cares? I mean,
the headline is terrible.
Captain Hare, another $5 super chat. Disney emerges from the time wormhole, crashes into the same ice planet as Voyager. Did I say Disney? I meant the Discovery. Discovery emerges from the same time wormhole, crashes into the same ice planet as Voyager did in the one episode, and everybody dies. The end. Please? Why aren't you in the writer's room there, Captain Hare? Boy, oh boy. No worries. Okay, so needless to say, there was a deleted scene in the outtakes where Stinky Pete takes two Barbies into his trailer or something and says, I can get you a pot in Toy Story 3, girls, and then realizes there's a camera on him and he's like, oh. Again, I get it. But
It's like 10 seconds.
here we go again with this deleting history shit.
It's Disney. Of course they're going to delete history. Disney's whatever. History is whatever we say it is. That's probably what they're saying. History is whatever they say it is.
Pretty much. Song of the what?
Yeah, that movie. If you
me
even
see
saw the damn
Barbie
thing, oh well, you know.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's not really. It is so.
And we have a little thing called the internet. Yeah,
Right,
yeah, we
that's
have a little thing called the internet now. It's going to live on.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to bury this thing.
No, everyone famously knows it as that racist movie Disney won't let you
I
watch.
heard there's a 35 millimeter rip out there of the movie. I wouldn't know 'cause I haven't looked for it, but I've heard
There is.
You can just go and download it. There's I think you can get it overseas as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. My brother had someone bring back a copy of Song of the South from the UK, and just had the PAL version transferred to NTSC version.
Well, maybe
Well,
it's,
hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say maybe it wouldn't be so bad if like Lasseter and Weinstein didn't work for Disney. But anyway, tell us what this LA Times story says, Rob, if that's what you want.
Far-reaching Me Too Time's Up movements have hit the Walt Disney Company yet again, resulting in the reported deletion of a 20-year-old casting couch scene in Toy Story 2. The scene, which appears as in a faux blooper reel at the end of the 1999 animated film, is no longer part of the new home entertainment releases, according to several reports. That likely means it won't appear on the streaming version of Disney when Disney launches Disney Plus in November. The deletion was first noted in online forums when Disney re-released Toy Story Trilogy on 4K Blu-ray and DVD and HD digital formats ahead of Toy Story 4 theatrical release in June. Representatives for Disney were not immediately available for comment. Of course they're not. The outtake style clip features Tom Hanks, Woody interrupting surreptitious meeting between the collectibles prospector's toy Sticky Pete and twin Barbie dolls inside a toy box. Pete, a villain in the film, ogles, strokes, and suggestively talks to the dolls and implies that he can get them parts in Toy Story 3. Really? I mean, it seems kind of benign right now when reading this.
That's what I'm saying. It's really stupid.
So-called casting couch, when bosses lord their power over fledgling actresses, when they still do, has essentially become a microcosm of power imbalance in Hollywood and beyond. It looks like Disney recognized that its mere suggestion no longer has a place in its family-friendly films. The move is the latest part in Disney's recent history of course correcting. Or you mean, or just what? You're just covering up the past. I mean, you're just trying to.
Here, the little kids won't even get it. The little kids won't even get the joke. I mean, is it in poor taste a little bit? But it's still
Those were
something
in there for the adults. Exactly, Mecca. What kid over until they're like at least 8, 9, 10 years old understands outtakes?
Well,
and
anyway,
gets the whole joke behind the joke.
Well, anyway, the studios, which also includes updates to the Pirates of the Caribbean rides, theme parks, and other tweaks, studios also become more self-aware and self-referential, updating stereotypical narratives for its iconic princesses in such films as Moana, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and the live-action Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin remakes. The monolithic Walt Disney Corporation faced its own Time's Up reckoning last summer when it ended its relationship with Pixar animation co-founder John Lasseter. For more details on that, go watch Midnight Edge's own Toy Story Behind the Curtain of Pixar. that's my interjection. Who was accused of misconduct. Yes. See, I was able to weave that in there. Lasseter, who co-directed Toy Story 2, incidentally later joined the animation division of Skydance Media, but was publicly shamed during the comeback, particularly in an open letter from actress Emma Thompson, who refused to work with him. Well, Emma Thompson, Emma Thompson, though. It's Emma, she's respected, but come on.
Well, and see, here's the thing: when we did that interview, and when we did that documentary about Pixar and Lasseter, really, I mean, and I'm not trying to diminutize or however you say that, anything that he did as far as what could be considered harassment. I didn't really hear the harassment part so much as just when it come to stealing ideas from other people and keeping other people in the company down because they were either black or they were a woman. That bothered me more than the other stuff I heard. You know, I mean, I didn't hear anything as far as like he was really getting aggressive with anybody. It was mostly just he's a very huggy guy. That was what I guess the thing was. But you can't deny some of the allegations and how they all kind of came out the way they did. And again, we can't say that they're real, but there's a lot of pictures of him hugging people that aren't hugging him back.
Nobody also stuck up for him at all when this happened.
Yeah.
You know, another thing, why don't you just say, listen, I'd rather not. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not comfortable with you doing that. That's understandable. Hey, no. Or you say, I've you know how many times I've done it? Hey, I'm not really a hug. I'm not really a hug kind of guy. you know, that's, you know, you like Seinfeld, if you don't do the lean in, you know.
Oh, for the kiss thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Well, anyway, let's. Can I do the Bond story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me just make a quick note. So Rami Malek is he had something to say about the new Bond movie, and it's about the parties playing. And we had news about Grace Jones walking off the set allegedly. Now, Rami Malek, he had an important request before joining Bond 25. Do you have this? You know, the story up. I had this story up for a while now. Okay. Unfortunately, this comes from Gizmodo, so just cut me a little slack here. With tons of behind-the-scenes drama on the set of Bond 25, 25th James Bond film, it's easy to forget the exciting stuff coming on the screen. Like the fact recent Oscar winner Rami Malek is playing the latest Bond villain. Is that the latest trend now? You get an Oscar winner to be in one of these movies?
Well,
that's what it seems.
That's a trend for Oscar winners in general, is once they win an Oscar, they take the big next paycheck that comes along. Mm-hmm. And the curse of that is usually whatever that big paycheck movie is, it bombs historically. One that comes to mind, wasn't that what happened to like Halle Berry with Catwoman?
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
who else? There was a
Captain Marvel didn't bomb, but it just she's
done other stuff before that though. But no, yeah. I mean, it's like this thing. It's kind of a curse that follows people sometimes. It seems like
you could say Sandra Bullock a little bit.
Well, anyway,
after
was Speed 2 after that? Or was it before that?
Well, let's keep going with this. That only happened because the filmmakers agreed a non-negotiable request Malek had about the character. I said we cannot identify him with any act of terrorism reflecting an ideology or a religion, Malek explained to the Daily Mirror. That's not something I would entertain. So if that is why I am your choice, then you can count me out. But that was clearly not director Cary Fukunaga's vision. So he's a very different kind of terrorist. Okay, whatever. Malek is of Egyptian descent. So that request implies he didn't want to help perpetuate any negative stereotypes. The actor got his wish. It's another extremely clever script from people who have figured out exactly what people want in those movies, he said. But I feel a substantial weight on my shoulders. I mean, Bond is something that we all grow up with. Little is known about the plot for the new James Bond movie. Even the title is still a mystery, and it's been filming for several weeks. Rumors suggest, though, Malek's character will use technology to raise the kind of terror that would draw the attention of 007. Bond 25 is scheduled for a April 8th, 2020 release. So, okay. Can I get a title? Please? Can I get a title? Just give me a title.
You're probably just going to call it Bond 25 or whatever.
Bond, the one where a bunch of people died making it.
Look at
give it a title.
That's not the title. That's not the title.
They're just going to call it Bond.
It's going to be called The Box Office Is Not Enough.
No, they're gonna call it Jimmy Bond's gonna really subvert us.
No, I think you're right. They probably will just call it Bond. It'll just because that's what they're doing, like Picard or Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker. It's a trend. See, everybody else is doing it. We'll just do it too.
Okay, to be serious, they will probably give it an actual subtitle. It's just like they are terrified about this movie at the moment.
So many things in this movie have gone wrong. It's just, and I've got a rant coming about James Bond actually soon. That I identify what the biggest James Bond's biggest problem is right now, and it's not Idris Elba, and it's not political correctness. It's not a lot of, well, part of it is that, but I mean, part of it is trying to chase different trends. But there is something that is wrong with James Bond, and it's been wrong for the last decade or so. But I'll give you a little hint as to what it is, if I could ever pull up the sound. Oh, for God's sake! Yeah, we make a fool out of me, Windows. So anyway, but Windows.
Is it the sound of the screaming otter? Because I kind of like that. Well, they're not always screaming; they just go when they're trying to get their food. That's kind of adorable. It is.
It is totally adorable.
I like cute things. Okay, I like cute animals.
You're allowed. I
hate people, but I love animals.
Christopher Jones is right. Bond's been chasing trends since the 70s.
Yeah,
well,
but
they make it of the time, but they make it of the time.
Oh, I know. It's like, was it the 70s? Like, blaxploitation films are popular. Let's make Live and Let Die, Star Wars. Let's make, was it Moonraker? It's like they've been doing this forever.
Mm.
Well, yeah, you think they would know kind of which trends are shit, which trends aren't.
They never have.
Yeah, but you've had all these years of experience to learn.
And we can only play a little bit of this, but this is James Bond's biggest problem. All right, that's about as much as I could play.
Yeah, baby.
It's a parody.
Well, and it's not just Austin Powers, to be fair. It's just that Bond has been parodized, if that's a word, or satirized. That's probably better. About 1 billion times since the 70s, probably.
Well, yeah,
even in its own genre with the whole Casino Royale thing. I mean, I don't have much to add to it because I'm not a Bond fan, but I know bits and pieces of it. So,
but it's been the tropes have been run through the ringer. It's not part of it, is it? And not to give away too much of my rant, but they're afraid of letting Bond be Bond because everybody's afraid it's gonna look stupid now. That's the thing.
It's funny because it didn't Austin Powers come out right before they did Die Another Day with the terrible parasailing, which was beyond parody anyway.
Oh yeah. They came out before, yeah. But it's sort of caught up with it though. That's the thing. Austin Powers. Well, the first Austin Powers movie came out in 97. Second one came out in 99. Third one came out in 2002. But by 2002, like you said, it's the Austin Powers had run its course. It became a thing. Austin Powers became more than just a parody of James Bond and in the 60s spy genre and the Harry Palmer, Michael Caine spy too. Austin Powers became sort of its own thing. But the thing is now they've been overthinking it. They're trying to reinvent James Bond. I'm like, you don't need to. And they're trying to make it Bourne. They're trying to make it Marvel. They're trying to make it politically correct. They're trying to make it Me Too sensitive. Everything you're doing isn't helping. I mean, just make a Bond movie. Really? For God's sake.
God damn it, Archer!
That's right.
Yeah, it's like the series course corrected after Die Another Day with Casino Royale, which was the right move. But once we got to Skyfall, where they're literally doing plot points from In Goldmember, I think we've gone a little bit too far.
Well, the Demon's Reflection says if you read the books, Bond's behavior and mannerisms are similar to Archer's than any of the films.
He's totally
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah, he's a drunk. He's an asshole. The whole point is he's a hyper masculine character. I mean, and you try. Oh, we need to have him be more. We need to bring him into the 21st century. No, he's not a 21st century. What, you're going to give him a flannel shirt? He's going to shop at Whole Foods. He's going to drive. Fuck you.
This is the same thing that we've said about the whole updating and race swapping and gender swapping characters before. It's you get to a point where it's no longer the character anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Exactly. They're just changing that. That would be like, oh, we got a new partnership now. So now James Bond drives a Prius because that's going to be the car we advertise.
Well, back in the 90s for GoldenEye and through for the Brosnan movies, he drove a BMW. But still, they were cool cars though. BMW Z. My old boss used to drive a BMW Z3, and I told him, he said, "This is the only non-British made car that James Bond ever drove in a movie." He said, "Really?" He was so excited that he had a Bond car. He said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, absolutely." He drove it in GoldenEye. He said, "It didn't do much in GoldenEye, but you still drove it. It was still cool."
Yep.
And then I told him he got sawed in half in The World Is Not Enough.
A Bond car question. I actually read an article today that Paul McCartney apparently used to drive a DB5. Is that because of Goldfinger?
No, Aston Martin was always a big British sports car maker. I mean, he drove well, obviously it's going to get a bump, but Aston Martin had always been a big British sports car maker, and he drove an Aston Martin back in when he first became famous, and actually on the doll on the cover of Sgt. Pepper, there's a little model of Aston Martin. Supposedly that's the car he's driving when the whole Paul is dead thing took off. But yeah, Aston, like I said, the movie raised the profile of Aston Martin, but Aston Martin was already very, very prominent though.
Yeah, us Yanks started to love it after that movie.
Oh yeah. You only drove the Aston Martin in 2 movies. Really, Sean Connery only drove the Aston Martin in Goldfinger and in Thunderball. That's it.
And then there's the cameo in Skyfall, and that's it.
There's a cameo in Skyfall, and there was obviously it's not officially his in Casino Royale. It's in someone else's. But this cameo in Skyfall, and it's in he actually drives it in GoldenEye. Pierce Brosnan drives it in GoldenEye, but and it does appear in Tomorrow Never Dies briefly, but it's so closely associated with Sean Connery, and it only appears in 2 movies. Aston Martin originally wasn't going to let them use it. The story is they tried to get a free car from Aston Martin. They wanted a free car from Aston Martin. They said, "Can we please have an Aston Martin?" They said, "No." "Can we please have an Aston Martin?" "No." "Can we please have an Aston Martin?" So they were looking at other cars. They looked at a Jaguar. They looked at even a Chevrolet. So finally, Aston Martin said, "Listen, we won't give you a car, but we will sell you one for full price, £5,000. So they bought the car, and then they made £25,000 of improvements to it, of modifications to it. And I saw that Aston Martin at a car show years ago, and they had a guy there specifically to answer questions about it. Everything on that Aston Martin, on the classic Aston Martin, works. Everything, the machine guns, the oil slick, the rotating license plates, the bulletproof screen, everything works. There's 2 different ones. There's the lightweight one for the driving scenes, and then there's the one specifically for, I think there's 4 of them. There were 4 of them. They actually had 2. Actually, they had 2. They had a couple different ones that they used, but everything on it works. It is a fully functioning car. So that's. Yeah, reboot. Yeah, no, please do not reboot Jane Bond with Brie Larson. No, please. She's not. Could you imagine her as a Bond girl? Oh, you're the spy.
I wonder as the Bond villain.
Yeah, yeah. And then Bond has to put a bullet between her eyes.
I'm gonna destroy the world with my unicorns.
Mr. Bond, I am running a unicorn store. I don't know about you.
It's a
but we're taking down the patriarchy. So so anyway. So that's it.
Yeah, I guess what I'll say about a lot of James Bond films have had production issues. I think my go-to example is always From Russia with Love, which had, above all else, the director almost died in a helicopter crash. One of the actors shot himself, and they were constantly behind budget and scheduling. But it's one of my favorite movies, so maybe this movie will work out. But I'm still pretty damn worried.
He drives a 1961 Sunbeam Alpine in that movie.
Oh yeah, good car.
That car has a Ford engine in it. It has a huge engine. Well, Ford used to supply engines to a lot of automakers back then. They supplied Lotus, Sunbeam, and a lot of Triumph. TVR used to get the biggest Ford engines they could find. This car is just turned into an episode of Top Gear now. Jeez.
Why wasn't Jeremy on a Bond movie? I don't know why.
I don't know. All right, do we have any other news before I could talk about Bond all night. Maybe we should have Robert Meyer Burnett. We can talk about Bond.
Ooh, I did send him a message, but he must be busy. I was gonna say Rob's talking about Bond, so he brought it up earlier on his show, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want your nightmare, look up the behind the scenes for Thunderball. That will make your head fall off.
Demon's Reflection. Ford stands for Fix Again, Tony. No, that's Fiat. Fix Again, Tony. Ford found on the roadside dead.
I know Boat was busted out another 1,000.
Yeah. Demon's Reflection. Like Fiat actually did a very clever campaign actually about that. They had a mechanics named Tony's, and the guy goes into the thing. Yeah, I've got a busted mirror. This is very bad. Salvatore Paolo, and he calls out the mechanics, two paisans. Oh, why do the drivers a car like this? Hey, where is no leather seats? No, where is the sexy? Go ahead, go have a espresso. We fix your car. And they bring in it's a Fiat 500X. This is your car. We fix it. And the guy's like, "You sure this is? This is your car. We fix." And like it reminded me of every paisan my father used to know back in the day. Oh, what kind of a caveman would drive a car like this, huh? Hey, you go. We fix. So, yeah, it's King of the Hill reference. I remember that. So, all right. Do we have any other news?
Well, there is one thing. It only probably matters a lot to me, but Arte Johnson from Laugh-In just died.
Oh, Arte Johnson. Oh, I like Arte Johnson.
Yeah,
I love him.
Laugh-In fan.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's always very interesting, but very stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's.
Did you have something, Mecca, or?
Yeah, did you do something?
No, I just said it's sad. I was a huge Laugh-In fan.
Oh, I thought maybe you had a story.
No, I didn't see it.
Go look up on YouTube Arte Johnson's classic Atari commercials from the 80s. They're actually pretty good.
Oh my god, those are amazing.
Twitter here.
All right. So,
no, did you have any other stories, Mecca?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm looking. I've been looking.
Archer
if
design.
not, I'm tapped out. So.
Let me see. Archer design. Would you send us Archer design? Art. Oh yeah. That sketch, Tyler. That sketch is in the is in Casino Royale.
Oh yeah, that's directly what they inspired Archer off of. They just went, we're gonna go with that.
And for the people who say, "Oh, there's nothing that says what race James Bond is," I'm like, yeah, right there. Look, this is a sketch.
Also, you can look up the real James Bond. He was a little bit white too.
Oh, the real James Bond is actually Ian Fleming.
Well, meant by the man named James Bond.
Oh yeah, he's a British ornithologist. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the real James Bond is actually Ian Fleming. It's based all off of his experiences in the British Secret Service in the OSS. No, the OSS is American.
MI6.
MI6, yeah. But
there's a lot.
Did they call it Second War?
I think they were. There's a lot of people that inspired James Bond. Like I know that he also said that he was a big fan of the British spy for the 1920s, Sidney Riley, who was pretty famous and fairly legendary as the Ace of Spies. So, you know, it came from a lot of sources.
It's pulled from everywhere. Yeah,
Hell, it came from like even Christopher Lee a little bit.
Yeah, Black Phoenix. Too bad TBS stopped showing Bond marathons on weekends and holidays. Kind of want to see The Spy Who Loved Me now. Yeah, actually, no, that's one that doesn't get shown a lot. Spy Who Loved Me. That's really I like that one. And I really do wish they would go back to that archetype.
Embrace the silly.
Yeah, the big battle at the end. You know, ridiculous stakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny because all the movies usually got too silly. Now they're too serious. Like the last movie, they did the whole like Blofeld is the brother of Bond. That's a thing from Goldmember, but they played it so straight.
Mm-hmm. They ripped off Goldmember, and Goldmember and Captain America: The Winter Soldier in Spectre.
Yeah.
I said in my review of Spectre, it says if this plot sounds familiar, it should. It's the plot of Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
With a little bit of Her Majesty's Secret Service if they change the ending.
Mm-hmm. Okay, actually, the odds just went up that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be going to be in the role. Can we please let them make this movie first before we talk about recasting? The recasting is not going to come up until maybe 2022.
Yeah, I remember like 2 years ago, like it's going to be Jamie Bell as Bond. I'm like, oh my god, that was 2 years ago. You're a little bit ahead of the betting here.
Billy Elliot. Oh god. All right, we got any more? We got any more news? That's a good place to leave it. It's a ridiculous place.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we beat this horse to death tonight.
Okay, yeah. Let's wrap here.
Yeah, we made enough glue. Oh Lord.
We want to do the just quick summation with Arte Johnson.
If you want to, yeah.
All right, let's just do
the Variety article there.
Okay. Arte Johnson, laughing star, dies at 90. Comedian actor Arte Johnson, Emmy Award-winning star of 1960s, 70s sketch comedy show Laugh-In, died on July 3rd in Los Angeles of heart failure. He was 90 and had been battling bladder and prostate cancer. Laugh-In, he was most familiar as Wolfgang, a heavily accented German soldier who thought World War II was still going on. His catchphrase, very interesting, was one of many that caught on from the hit show. Johnson won one Emmy for the show and was nominated 2 more times. Appearing on the NBC series for its full run from 1968 to 1973, his other well-known character was as the dirty old man Tyrone F. Horny.
Oh, you'd never be allowed to do that one nowadays.
Nope.
No.
They brought those. They brought the two of them back. Him and Ruth Buzzy back for something not too long ago, right?
They were on a cartoon together. They did voices on a cartoon. Yeah. Anyway, he sat down on the park bench and made off-color remarks to Ruth Buzzy. In 1970 episode, the two were set to be married and appeared in a wedding scene with Tiny Tim as best man. Thought the character, proofread your shit, Variety. Though the character probably wouldn't have worked in modern times, he and Buzzy reprised their characters in the 1977 cartoon series Baggy Pants and the Nitwits. Born in Benton Harbor, Michigan, he started out performing in New York nightclubs and was then cast in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes on stage. Moving onto television, he appeared early in early series including Sally and Hennessy, as well as in the Twilight Zone episode The Whole Truth, as a car salesman who punches a used car lot owner. His other TV appearances during the 60s and 70s included Bewitched, Lost in Space, The Partridge Family, and The Donna Reed Show. While the bulk of Johnson's roles were on television, his film roles included the Gore Vidal character in Jack Kerouac's The Subterraneans, as a federal agent in The President's Analyst, as Dracula's comic sidekick in Love at First Bite. I remember the movie, George Hamilton. Later in his career, he made numerous game show appearances on The Match Game, Wheel of Fortune, and on The Gong Show. He guested on Murder, She Wrote and Night Court, as well as on General Hospital. Johnson also did extensive voice work for cartoons, including Justice League Unlimited, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, DuckTales, and Animaniacs, and later narrated numerous audiobooks. He's survived by his wife of 51 years, Gisela, and his brother, Kozlo. TV writer on Laughing, and many other shows. Donations may be made to the actors and others for animals, best friends, and or to cancer research. So Arte Johnson has left us at the age of 90. So, but let me just tell you though, he was battling prostate cancer. Get yourself checked. It's not a big deal. I've been checked recently. For the couple minutes of embarrassment and discomfort, it's good to know that everything's working. That's me. I'm not joking around here. So that's me being serious. So for a moment. So like I said, get yourself checked. Get yourself to a doctor. Get yourself checked. Okay. So okay, Arte Johnson. I think that's a good place to live. That's our public service announcement from Midnight's Edge After Dark. Anything else to add, anybody?
No, I think that's a show.
All right, let's wrap here. If you like what we do, and honestly, why wouldn't you? Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Like, subscribe over to main channel, hit the bell icon over there. Patreon supporters get all kinds of bonuses, bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, behind the edge making videos, my 10-minute stand-up, and more. Support the channel for as little as $1 a month. You can head over to Subscribestar if you don't like Patreon. And if you want to support the show directly, you can head over to PayPal. You can do that now too. How about that? It's what a miraculous time we live in, isn't it, Tom?
Of course it is.
And Tom, why don't you tell everybody about our GoFundMe?
Well, we're trying to. Well, we are already pretty much on our way to Vegas, but we're trying to raise a little bit more money to help get the camera and a few other things. Maybe get close to some of the actors and ask them something you want to know. If you're one of our donors on the GoFundMe, and then you might get that chance. So do check that out. The link should be in the description, I believe.
Actually, yeah, we're on our way. You said, yeah, we're pretty much on our way to Vegas. We're actually doing this show from a Motel 6 outside of Trenton, New Jersey. So yeah, it's going to take us a long time to really get to Vegas. So it's one step at a time, one seedy motor lodge at a time. So, Mecca, tell them about your channel.
I am Mecha Random 42, and I complain about everything from Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, that is, to Star Wars, to any of the crazy, stupid stuff Hollywood is doing nowadays. And I bounce quite a bit over there. I have Patreon and Twitter and all the things, and Twitch for video games. Follow me everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Tyler, tell them about yourself.
I'm Tyler Bioshock, and if you need more of me, I'm always in the Facebook group talking about whatever's going on. I also got my own podcast called the Peanut Butter Podcast, where I talk about the taste of peanut butter, whatever's going on in the news as well, and stories about my aunt, of which I talked with her last night longingly about her mom.
Giggity!
Yeah, apparently her mom's 80 and was a hardcore Catholic. I don't think her teachings rubbed off on her daughter.
Gahoogity schmoigan.
No, it explains it, because she probably just rebelled.
Yeah, that would probably explain a lot.
This is all I know. I'm not very good in these types of situations.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So more if you want to, yeah, tune in if you want to hear to the Peanut Butter Podcast. You want to hear more awkward stories about Aunt Mona.
That one is also sexual.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Damn right.
All right, everybody. Tom, any parting words?
Schlugem, whatever that thing says.
Mecca, any parting words?
Banana peel.
Tyler?
Nope.
All right, everybody. Have a good 4th of July. We're not sure what we're doing, but be safe.
Have a happy and safe 4th of July, yes.
Don't blow your arm off. Please, just, we want all our people to be in one piece.
What don't you fucking understand?
That's right. I to have a good 4th of July. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, safety tip. Don't put the rocket on top of your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but okay, everybody, like I said, have a good 4th of July. And for people outside the United States listening to this, just wake up and have a good Thursday. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
I'm Krispy Kreme McDonald's. What the hell was that?
Does internet porn know you're cheating on it?
I'm Superfly TNT. I'm the Guns of the Navarone.